Hey guys, welcome to week 19 of the Tea in Tokyo podcast. My name is Somya.
And I'm Ellie.
And what do we talk about this time?
So we had to go into work, so we left our safe wee bubble to explore some of Tokyo.
Yeah, that's right. That and we discuss a little bit more coming up right now.
So we left the house for the first time in like 2 months.
Yeah, we left the house, finally. We've literally been... Well, we've left the house before, but just to go to the supermarket.
But when I say we left the house, we left our immediate area.
Yeah. I can't remember if we've spoken about the fact that I went to my online training. You know, I feel like I did. Because
I think you mentioned how empty the train was.
Maybe. But yeah, I had my online training a couple of weeks ago. Like, this is how weird this whole, time has been. I literally can't remember anything.
Yeah, our brains have kind of just died.
Like the last,
from doing nothing.
The last 2 months has squished into one long day for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I had my online training a couple of weeks ago, and in Tokyo, right? And Ellie had her one this week.
Yeah, so
yeah, I went with Ellie to Shinagawa.
Yeah, so Somya's was in Tokyo Station, so I couldn't be bothered to go with him to his, because that's like a 40-minute train ride each way to wait for him for 40 minutes and then come back. Whereas mine is at Shinagawa, so it's like 15 minutes. So while I did my training, Somya came along and went for a wander.
Yeah, like it's our first time leaving the initial area, and I remember we're kind of thinking how it feels like we aren't living in Japan anymore, because we barely interact with anybody.
The media we consume at home is like, we don't have Japanese TV, so it's all like Western media, Facebook. All of our friends are like in New Zealand.
Yeah, so we might as well not have been living in Japan at all.
Honestly,
so
sometimes I wake up in the morning and I've told something this before, I'll have a dream I'm in Japan, and in the moment when I wake up and I'm still half asleep, I'll be like, oh, what a nice dream. But that's not going to happen. And then I'll look around my room and I'll be like, oh my god, I'm in Japan. And it's such a cool feeling, because it's like the first day here all over again. And I feel like it's been happening more often because it feels like we're not in Japan. Yeah, I get that nice satisfying, woohoo, pursued my dreams every morning, but...
Although the bad thing is I feel like we need to do everything for the first time again, because I feel like we've forgotten, our muscle memory is no longer there of, interacting, or being in, a Japanese store and interacting with Japanese people.
Yeah, I forgot the word the other day, daijoubu desu.
Yeah.
For, basically, no problem, thank you. When someone, goes to get you a plastic bag in a supermarket or something, daijoubu desu is no, but, polite, nice, casual. And when I was there the other day, that's, my one word that I know how to say to people.
Yeah, you're pretty confident saying that.
Sumimasen, arigato, daijoubu desu. But, for some reason, with that one, I was just wait, what is the word?
Yeah, you're super confident using that one.
No, but I'm not anymore. I panicked.
Yeah.
I was like, is that the word? I still don't even know if that's the word. I should probably research that.
Yeah, so we're going to have to, restart everything when everything eventually goes back to normal. We have a feeling everything's going to go back, well, work-wise, things are going to go back to normal on June 1st. Ellie's not quite sure, though. I think the plan right now is that the lockdown ends on June 1st.
Well, I kind of...
Well, the state of emergency.
Again, in relation to not remembering what we've already said in this podcast, is... We're fortunate in that, and I'm sorry if I said this last week and I'm repeating myself, our company is doing, some of the studios are going to do online classes. I think it's something 8 out of hundreds, and both of our studios are chosen for online.
Yeah.
In my studio, 10 of the staff out of 30 or 40 or something were chosen to do online, and I was one of those ones.
Yeah,
and
so you got super lucky.
One of the people in his. I think everyone in yours is.
Yeah, everyone on my one's doing it.
So, we're both going to be starting June 1st online, at the very least. But
yeah.
I don't know if we're going to go back to normal classes.
Well, I already have 17 bookings for normal classes next month.
I had 20, I think, when I last checked, which is nothing.
Yeah, but still, those classes are there. So at the moment, I think the plan is that things are, they're going to open it up. Although I don't think students will come back, because I don't think, most students will come back. because I don't think they're ready to, for everything to go back to normal. And a lot of them will probably do online classes now that it's available.
Although it's not available for everyone. For the first month, it's still like testing phase. So like my manager mentioned at my training that most of the students we're going to get for the first month are going to be like the Japanese staff, because a lot of them take the English lessons. So they're going to be used sort of as the students to test online.
Yeah.
So it's still going to be really quiet.
Yeah, I feel like online classes... Well, one of the weird things about online classes is that they've told us that you have to continue wearing your face mask even for online, because they want to, put up an image of us being safety conscious and, having masks. But it's so dumb. It's like, why would you need to wear a face mask when you're talking to someone over a webcam?
And like, even outside of the fact that it's kind of illogical, I think it's going to inhibit the learning, because it's awkward enough communicating over, like, when you have like Zoom meetings or like catch up with friends over like FaceTime. I feel like there's already the barrier between you, and you need like the face is all you get. Like, you can't see body language, you can only see the face, and you can't even properly hear the tone of voice if like it's a bad connection. So not being able to see the smiles or like the way your mouth is like shaped is gonna just fully, I think it would like seriously impact the students' learning.
Yeah, for sure. Plus, like, sometimes when I have students just in my lesson booth and I'm like talking to them, when they're wearing a face mask, it's harder to hear them and for them to hear us. Yeah. And like, sometimes people will literally just pull their face mask down and say whatever they're saying.
Yeah.
And on top of the face mask, we have to wear face shields, what we've found as well.
It's so funny because they literally have a label over your forehead being like, protective face shield, and like big writing.
Yeah, it actually says face shield. It makes you look like a dentist. It's so ridiculous.
And for me, just having that big label, like flashing label, being like, this is a face shield, it's like, it's showing that it's all about the image of like, oh, look how good we are protecting our staff and our students.
I feel like I'm going to crack up when I see, all the people just walking around wearing face shields, and then like in a lesson booth just having like this person with a face shield just talking to a student trying to describe things.
I think it's just like, I understand that there's a reason they're doing it. They're wanting to protect their staff and their students, like for their health. But those things, and I know this is like the dumbest complaint, they're so uncomfortable. When I used to when I was younger, this is like not quite the same, but when I was younger I worked at a cafe where we had to wear these headbands. But the way they worked is the placement of the headband was over your forehead in the same place that the face shield would be attached. And I remember it was just the most uncomfortable thing, because they would like slip down, or if they didn't slip, it's because you tied it really tight and you would get like marks on your face. And I don't know, I'm not looking forward to having that.
And you already complained so much about the heat just from wearing a face mask there.
Oh my god, and your glasses fog. People with glasses will understand this. When you wear a face mask, your glasses fog up a lot.
Yeah, Ellie's very blind when she's wearing a face mask.
Yeah, and I've run out of contact lenses, so I have to wear glasses right now. And honestly, I'm literally like, we'll be walking along and I'll have to tell Solomia, like, okay, you're going to have to guide me now because I'm blinded temporarily.
Yeah. Speaking of face masks, we actually got face masks in the mail from the government. So that's kind of cool. They gave us 2 like nice face masks, a really good fabric on it. And it actually looks pretty good too. Like, Ellie thought it looked a bit weird, but I thought it looked pretty cool. The shape is like, it looks fine, but the shape of it is like, it's literally just a square, so it's not shaped to your face square. At all. Like, you know how with the non-reusable papery style ones, it's a square, but it's got that little metal band over the nose, so you can bend it in and shape it to your face. Yeah. Whereas this is a square without the metal band. And you know how you were saying that you thought that you had to put your own filter in? And like, it does actually have a little slot to put something in, so maybe like, I don't know what kind of filter you put in that. You
can buy them on bulk in like Amazon and stuff.
We should go to Daiso and see if we can find one.
So I doubt that they're going to have any. I feel like all face mask related like paraphernalia is like has been gone for like months.
Yeah.
Me and Somi have been reusing the same like 4 face masks for 3 months now.
I've been using the same 1 face mask for 3 months. Because I got these other ones and they're so crap.
Yeah, they like fall down your face, eh?
Yeah. The bands on face masks have to be strong. You know, they can't stretch, because as soon as they stretch, they no longer fit your face.
Yeah. But if anyone was wanting to clean their face masks, I don't know how effective it was, like the non-reusable ones. I was really nervous about cleaning them because I didn't know if they'd just like break. But I basically I cleaned our sink out in the bathroom. So I cleaned it first, and then I put the plug in, and I placed all the face masks down, and I put a little bit of washing powder, like I sprinkled a little bit over it, And then I poured a couple of, like, jugs of boiling water. And I got, like, chopsticks, and I basically just, like, stirred them around.
Yeah.
And I, like, turned them over, and you could tell it was working because the water got really, like, dirty from, like, my makeup and stuff on the face masks. And then we just dried them out on the line and, like...
I think that's what you do, yeah. Hot water.
Worked.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if anyone was wondering, it's totally, like, it didn't damage them, and they were literally new.
Yeah.
Again. Like, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, I think this is all we'll need now. 2 or 3 face masks each. You know, we don't need to buy ones. You don't need to have, like, one every day.
Yeah, I'm wondering how, like, many times we can wash these before they do, like, degrade.
Yeah, true.
But, I mean, you know, it's a good solution for, like, if you only have access to the ones that... Like, we bought this 4-pack before anything even was... Like, anyone even heard of coronavirus. Because, like, everyone in Japan, if you're sick, it's, like, a thing where you wear a face mask before this happened. To protect others. Like, that's the idea. Because the work culture here is, like, you'd go to work even if you are sick. So to protect your colleagues, you wear a face mask. And when we were, like, catching trains and stuff to work, we were kind of like, crap, do we want to, like, fit in with people here and, like, have face masks? So we bought this little pack. And I actually really regret it because the first one I wore, I, like, threw out that night. And then I didn't, like, wear another one, luckily. And then we only had 4, so it was, like, a 5-pack. Since then, I've been like, God damn it, I threw that one out, you know? That would have been so good to have it now.
It'd be so valuable.
Yeah.
Because then you can't find them anywhere. Oh, you know, one thing, speaking of the mail
I know
and
exactly
things
what
coming.
you're going to talk about.
What, health insurance?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You knew. Yeah, this actually kind of ties into last week's podcast, just real quick. So we were really scared because we realized that we hadn't paid health insurance for 2 months, like in April and in May, and we were like, what the hell?
Because you pay health insurance 3 months at a time.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where we paid it, and then because it's like a 3-month gap between it, at least for us, we just like didn't register that we hadn't received it at the end of those 3 months. Because, like, 3 months is a long time, like...
Yeah, for sure. So I had, like, looked over all our, like, reports and stuff to see if we had already paid it or, like, if we had gotten it, and we were, like, really worried, and we were actually planning on going to town hall, like, the next day, to the ward office to to try to get it sorted and stuff.
Like, Somi has a little file with all of our bills and stuff with the receipts attached to them, because you pay them, like, physically.
But then we found out, someone from work actually told me, and it's a good thing they did tell us before we went to the ward office.
Imagine how confused they would have been with us, us non-Japanese speakers showing up and being like, where's their bill?
Yeah, we were already worried about having to speak, like, a little bit of Japanese, or, like, we were going to get one of our Japanese friends to literally write a note for us, like you're in freaking primary school.
Yeah, just to hand over being, like, in Japanese saying... Yeah. Excuse me, we never received our health insurance for the last 2 months.
Yeah, we were very, very worried about this. But then it turns out that you don't actually have to pay in April and May. So there's a 2-month gap. So, like, the financial year for the government goes from June to March. And then you have 2 months where you don't actually have to pay any governmental thing. Oh, actually, maybe you have to pay for April and March, but in June. Like, maybe...
Well, like, it's back paid.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Pay in advance.
But the problem, though, is that... our rates will be increasing in June, but they're like, because they're gonna base our rates based on how much we got paid. But we've only worked for 2 months, so I'm interested to see how much our rate, how much our rates go up.
We worked like nothing in January.
Yeah, I feel like our rates won't be going up much, which is good.
Yeah, if that's like split for the whole year, like if their income is counted as like the full year's income, we should have really low rates.
Yeah, man, just thought it, like, thinking about going to that ward office, because, like, we were talking about how it feels like we're not even living in Japan anymore. I feel like that would have been the restart of us being in Japan, because when we first came here, we had to go to the ward office, and now we had to go again. But now we don't have to go, so it's all right.
And the first time we went to the ward office, we were really lucky, and the lady helping us spoke a little bit of English, but we actually, like, saw a friend I work with, like, we bumped into someone from work the other day, and he recently moved to a new ward, and the first ward he went to, they had the same thing where they spoke English, but his new ward, the staff member didn't speak any English. Yeah. So he said it was really stressful trying to be like, I need to change my address.
Man, if there's one thing I've been thinking about it a lot, is the number of people who, and us included obviously, who literally can't speak Japanese, who are living in Japan. Is ridiculous.
It's made me reflect on any judgments I may have had in the past, which I don't know if I had them, but I'm sure I would have, of like a foreigner living in New Zealand not speaking English.
Oh yeah. I mean,
it's made me reflect so much on any judgment I had around that, because I feel like
me too.
In the back of my mind, I probably used to think like, why would you come here if you can't speak even basic English?
Yeah.
but like that's what we've done.
Yeah.
Like, I'm such a hypocrite.
I was like, man, what the hell? Like, what the hell are we doing in Japan when we don't have Chinese? And just the idea that when we go to, like, the ward office or a bank or something, and we go, you know, oh, hey, is there an English speaker here? They should be like, no, there isn't an English speaker here. Fuck off. Like, what do you mean? It's so ridiculous that we, you know, that they have to put an English speaker on staff just for the the quite big handful of foreigners who are here who can only speak English and can't speak Japanese.
Well, I mean, we can speak basic Japanese. So, like,
yeah, but not enough to do things comfortably, you know?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Still, it's just weird. It's like, yeah, it really puts it into perspective because, you know, if you're living in New Zealand or like Australia or wherever, like an English-speaking country, and someone walked into a bank and, you know, they said, hey, is there anyone here that can speak French or something?
Yeah.
People would lose their minds. Like, that would be on the news, and there would be 1,000 comments on Facebook being like, hey, you know, if you can't even speak English, get the hell out of here, like, blah, blah, blah.
I feel like it probably does happen, and we're just not aware of it. Like, they probably contact the bank in advance or something via email, being like, hey, I need an appointment with someone.
No, but come on, you know that would be such a big thing where people would be so angry, like, oh my god, how dare you not speak English, and yet you want to be at the bank, you know? Whereas here it's just so normal.
Yeah.
It's not a weird thing. Oh yeah, so we've kind of forgotten everything. Even at work, I completely forgot my username. Like,
Me
for that
too.
training, I had to sign in, and he was like, okay, just sign in like normal. And I just went blank. I was like, shit, I can't sign in like normal. And he had to go find my username and everything.
Yeah, to send out the, so for, like, the timing of my training, because it was one-on-one to avoid, like, people interacting, they sent, like, a big list, and it had everyone's, like, ID codes on the list with your time. And I looked at that and I was like, what the hell is my ID code?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But I was the first on the list, so I kind of like saw that one and I was like... But then I confused myself. I was like, does it actually ring a bell? Or do I just think that because it's the first one I saw?
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
So when I went for my training, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but in Tokyo Station, everything was completely empty. Every store was shut down. It honestly looked like a ghost town. It was really weird. Because this is a big place, like massive. It looks like a massive airport.
Yeah.
And
Tokyo
everything's
Station is
closed
like
down.
you can get lost within the station, and Somya like regularly does.
Yeah. And in Shinagawa, there was quite a lot of like closed places as well. Like a lot of restaurants. Most cafes were closed.
Well, Shinagawa is like a really big, like, it's where a lot of big businesses have their main office space. And so because those are all closed,
Yeah.
like it's not like a residential area.
Yeah.
Same with Tokyo Station.
That was a good day though. So we went to Ellie's work for her training, and while she was training, I went out for a walk. Turns out there's a nice river by Shinagawa Station.
Although, didn't we realise river isn't the right word because it's actually like a man-made inlet from the sea?
Yeah, I don't really know what you would call that because I looked it up later. I was like, I need to find out what the name of this river is. Turns out it's a lot smaller than I thought it was. I'm pretty sure it's man-made, and it basically just looks like it was carved out. Like they carved out a little bit by the sea so that boats and stuff could pass through.
Isn't that, I feel
Which
like
actually makes sense.
When I was researching Shinagawa, because I looked up the area, I'm pretty sure, now, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure I read that one of the reasons Shinagawa was able to successfully become a successful business district going way back is because of those little like man-made like canals basically, because that was like back before we had like cars. The boats would like, move cargo via those, so that kind of makes sense actually that it would be one of those little canals.
Yeah, that makes super sense. And it also makes sense because of the animals that are in there. Like there are like trout and there are jellyfish. I've never seen jellyfish in like a river like that before.
Yeah,
which makes sense because it's literally the ocean.
I like posted on my Instagram story and my brother replied being like, that's the saddest thing I've ever seen.
Why was that sad?
Because there was so many of them, and like it's like surrounded by all these big buildings, and it's just all these kind of like sad jellyfish, like not even like doing their normal like, I don't know, I can only do it with my hand, but like, you know, when they kind of like
pulsing
they pulse and they sort of
yeah.
like squeeze themselves in to move. These guys were
That's
not doing that.
They were just
like floating around like trash.
Yeah, well, a lot of jellyfish are like that, right? Because they're like plankton. They just go with the tide.
Yeah.
They just go with the flow.
And I suppose because there's no tide in that rivery thing.
Yeah.
That's why they just stay in the same spot.
True. Well, actually, I think the reason they stayed in that one spot, it's not because there wasn't a tide in the river. It's because of the specific point they're at. So like, I don't even know how to describe this. I was actually thinking about this the other day. What like the shape of those rocks that like they threw in there? It's like, imagine a diamond.
What are those toys that kids buy where they like stack them? Not
Yeah,
Legos,
yeah,
not
yeah.
like it's like a little
It's like so imagine a 3-dimensional shape, right?
a cross.
Yeah, a cross. Yeah, but 3 dimensions. So there's the cross, and then they also come out like towards you and then away from you.
Man, we're bad at describing
Yeah,
stuff.
what the hell is that thing? But it's a little kid thing, right?
But the giant concrete blocks in that shape are used to like, I don't know, stabilize the area.
No, it's not that. It's used so that the water current is slowed down in that area.
Ah.
Because they don't want to damage the banks, so they have those so the water current slowed down. And I'm pretty sure that's why there was so much jellyfish there, because they were like going down the river all happily, and then bam, they just get stuck in this little corner where there's no river current. But yeah, that was kind of cool. It was like a really nice river walk. Like there's like a pathway that goes all around. It takes like 40 minutes to go around.
I didn't do the whole one because I was wearing my work shoes and
Ellie did nothing.
I walked down there and then I walked to meet you down like half of the walkway. But the problem is I was wearing my work shoes and like I wasn't wearing like little socklets with them, so I was like literally like instantly just had like 30 blisters on my feet. So I was like hobbling along and Somi was like wanting to do the whole walk and I was like dying.
I need to have a whole podcast where I just complain about women's shoes.
I'm a delicate person.
Honestly, Ellie can't go anywhere without getting blisters.
No,
and it's just like, get some comfortable shoes.
But you
Jesus
only
Christ.
notice it when I'm wearing my work shoes. When I wear like sneakers and stuff, I don't get blisters.
I don't know, even then. I feel like there's always a bandage on your foot.
I can have a bad day occasionally. Yeah. And it's because when I go to work regularly, right, so I'm normally wearing my work shoes, which cause the blisters.
Yeah.
So then when we want to go out somewhere, I've already got a blister from the previous day.
And it's like, if you're going to get a blister, buy new shoes. Or buy like those things that you put inside shoes.
An
to make them look, an insole.
No, but the blisters are caused from the top of the shoe, not the bottom. The bottom of the shoe's fine.
Alright, yeah, we need to like then throw away those shoes.
But no, those shoes are really good because they're very comfy for doing their job, which is when I'm sitting at my desk working. They're comfy to like be stationary in, and they're comfy for short distances.
A shoe to be stationary in? That makes no sense.
No, like, because I can't just not wear shoes at work. Like, when I used to work at CCST, I would walk to the car, and then we'd drive to work, and then I'd get out of the car, and I'd walk up to my work, and then I'd walk around my building, and then repeat to go home. And that, like, I never got any pain from that.
Yeah, I guess so then.
Because it was, like, an appropriate amount of walking for the shoe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I kind of ruined the trip. But, well, not really, because afterwards when we were leaving, because I complained so much, we bumped into a guy who I work with who'd started a week before we shut, so he didn't really meet anyone. And we totally, like, you could just, like, we told him about the river, and then he was like, oh yeah, let's go! And, like, I don't know, I think we were both too nice or polite to be like, yeah, nah, we're out of here. So we're like, yeah, okay, let's go. And so then
we were going... So we had just come back from the river and we were walking back to the train station, and then he had to wait like 2-3 hours for
he missed his original train. He got lost at Tokyo Station, just like we said it.
Yeah.
So he was late.
So he had to wait 2 or 3 hours, and I was like, oh, there's a river back there. It's really nice. You should. It only takes 40 minutes, so you should do that. And I said you should do that, and he said, oh yeah, sweet, let's go. And I was like, wait, what?
And then, I felt
but I was like, screw it. So then,
this is a guy who moved here, and then he was here for a week, and then work closed for 2 months. He lives by himself. He didn't meet anyone, really. I don't know, I just get the impression that he's like...
No, but then I was keen to, like, keep walking anyway, so... Because I was, like, taking photos and stuff.
Yeah, and I was more willing to, like, push past my pain when it was to, like, I don't know, help someone else.
Yeah.
Than when it was just me and Somi. I don't know what that says about me and about our relationship. Maybe it's because I knew that you'd forgive me for like not being fun, whereas with someone new who you don't know that well, you can't be sure that they're not going to judge you.
But we also saw a black shag, which looked really nice.
Yeah.
It was one of those birds that like opens its wings to cool down. It's either cooling down or it's drying off. I don't know which one it's doing.
Or it was trying to scare us away because we were getting close to its nest.
Yeah, maybe.
That was in the same area. So in that one area, there was jellyfish, there was fish, there was ducks, sparrows, obviously, and also shags.
Yeah. I love places that are like in the middle of like a city that has a lot of nature, That's a good thing about rivers. You know, there should be a big river going through every major city because animals just like crowd to rivers.
Although that river was like, it looked pretty like relatively clean when we were like walking past it, but at one point like a speedboat went through it, and it was like the speedboat like disrupted the surface of the water.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden this like really gross like smell just like came from the river.
Yeah.
So obviously it wasn't actually that clean. It's just like it's like obviously in the middle of a city, like that's just like natural pollution it's gonna get, right?
Yeah.
And you couldn't tell until the boat disrupted the surface and like obviously like released all the gross smelly particles.
Yeah, that's the thing about any big city is that it smells gross. You know?
Yeah, like I don't know if we've said this before, but we've said it to each other regularly. Like, what is it with big cities and like sewage smell? Like, sometimes you'll just be, like, walking along, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, there's clearly, like, an open sewage pipe
There's
somewhere.
just too many goddamn people. You know? Yeah. Turns out, like, like, if you get bigger than, like, 400,000, like, in Christchurch.
Because I never got that. Like, I never smelled that in Christchurch.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like, we just haven't... We're not good at handling that much sewage, I guess. You know? Like, it's not, like, natural, that much sewage. It really isn't, you know?
Yeah. I mean, luckily the area that we live in, at least our immediate area, doesn't have that gross sewage area. Although, when we've walked down to, like, Don Quixote, the mega superstore down the road, like, maybe, like, 20 minutes away from us, there's a brief patch where it totally smells gross. But only on one side of the road. Because one time...
Maybe it could also be... Maybe there's, like, I don't know, a fish market there or something.
No, it doesn't smell like fish. It just smells gross.
Right.
You know, I know the difference between the smell of fish and the smell of sewage. It's pretty gross if you don't know the difference.
I don't know the difference between anything. So the other day we had we ordered Indian food, and Ellie was like playing her game, so I like set it up.
He wasn't setting up. He just went to town without.
Anyway, so I got my food, and I was like, I licked the lid, and I was like, man, this butter chicken is so different. Like, we must have ordered it from a different. Like, because we just got it on Uber Eats, and we're like, damn it, we must have got it from a different store, or they changed their recipe. I was like, god damn it, this doesn't taste that good at all.
He was, like, complaining very loudly about how they changed it. Oh, look at all these herbs they put in. I don't want all these herbs.
And it turns out it wasn't butter chicken, it was a vegetarian one that Ellie got.
Yeah. And
my butter chicken was just,
so he, like, licked my lid clean. He threw the lid out, which is annoying, because I like to not eat all of it and then put half away.
Yeah.
But yeah, that taught us that Somia has no idea what things taste like.
I always knew I sucked at tasting, but then that really proved it. I was like, man. I mean, I can taste if something's good or bad. Like, I know what's good, I know what's bad.
You could tell that you expected butter chicken, and I suppose it was the same colour as butter chicken.
Yeah.
But it, like, the taste was so off butter chicken, I'm surprised that you didn't immediately click that it wasn't.
That's the thing about my taste buds. I know good and bad, but I don't know the difference between anything. Like, you could give me pork, and I would think... And if you said it was chicken, I'd be like, oh, yeah, sweet. You give me anything and say it's something else, and I'd be like,
Somia's
okay, cool.
not the best judge of, like, when we say, oh, yeah, this vegetarian food was, like, really good. It totally passed as, like, chicken. Because how are you going to know? Like, if it's even a little bit like chicken, like, you're going to be like, yeah, totally good.
Yeah, true.
Which is a good thing, right? Because it means that when I feed you vegetarian fake meat, you, like, don't know.
Yeah. I'm easy with food as long as it tastes good. Like, it could be anything.
But also, when Somia says tastes good, what I've learned about Somia is... he's someone who's very susceptible to exposure. As in, like, if you just keep on giving him something, he'll eventually be like, you know, yeah, this is actually really good. I really like it.
Yeah, but isn't that the same with anything?
No,
anything in life?
He used to hate avocados, and I just kept on putting them on his plate, and now this is, like, a guy who we literally
that's the same with anything in life. The only thing that proves is that I'm willing to try new things.
Nah.
That's what that proves.
No, because the first time you have it, you're like, ugh. And then the second time you have it, you're like, ugh. And then, the third time, you're like, ugh.
You know, I hope those like noises are actually different on the mic. Otherwise, you just said the very same noises.
No, one was like a gross noise. The middle one was like a I don't quite know noise, and then the last one was a I guess I accept this.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm always willing to try new things. Hence why we're in Japan. So there you go.
I'm
That's
not
just the type of person
I'm not complaining at all. I think it's good that like if I just keep on like tricking you into having something, you'll eventually like it. You know, it's a good thing.
Okay, well, yeah, so we did the walk. That was a good walk, you know. It actually felt good to be outside and exploring again. You know,
and
doing something new.
That was the first time I've socialised with someone who's not Somia in person.
Yeah, true.
In 2 months. I socialised with my boss and for the training, and then also the guy from work.
Yeah.
So that was weird. 2 new people in one day.
One thing I've decided that I'm going to do is that we haven't been taking advantage of is the fact that there's like so many good deals at the moment for hotels, for flights, because of Corona. In June, we're not going to be able to take advantage of any of them because we're literally working every day. But in July, I reckon, we'll go to quite a few places.
Yeah, some like local travel. So I'm just thinking this because he bumped into one of my other work friends at the supermarket the other day, and that he's taken a week off next month to go to, where's he going?
Okinawa.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because apparently it's super cheap. And I was like, oh my god, you're right, it is cheap. Like, why are we not taking advantage of this right now?
I mean, because we've been self-isolating to protect ourselves and others from the coronavirus.
No, I know, but I mean, like, to buy things for the future. Although I guess the problem is that, you don't know what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah, who knows if what happens if the second wave hits early and then we've got flights to Okinawa and...
Yeah.
We have to make sure anything we buy is, like, refundable.
True.
We'll just have to pay that extra bit for that, like, travel insurance.
Yeah. Oh, and the other thing that we did is, I don't know if we talked about this last time, but the sushi train restaurant that's by our place.
Yeah, we can't, like, this is, again, the whole thing of, we've been in quarantine for, like, 2 months. We don't know, like, what we've mentioned, like, what's even happening in the world.
Yeah, honestly.
But we went to a sushi train for a second time. That's, like, just down the road from us. And we're so, like, we've discussed this before, how we think sushi is probably the dumbest food to get in the middle of a pandemic because it's, like, it's not cooked, so it's like any bacteria is like not being killed. It's like made with like by hand.
Yeah.
Like they're not going to wear gloves or like masks. They won't wear masks, but not gloves. So it's totally like the worst food to get. But
it's so good.
Yeah, and this is a sushi, like this restaurant is one where like you don't interact with any people.
Yeah, this is such a crazy place. Their side dish is ramen.
Yeah, like
so you have a side dish of ramen with your sushi, and it's literally like $4 for the ramen. It's so goddamn good. Yeah, it's a great place. I love that place. I love sushi train places.
Yeah, so you order your food on like an iPad, and then it's like there's like a track next to you that has like a electric car on it that literally brings your food to you.
Yeah, and then you just press the button like once you've taken it off, and then the train goes back into the kitchen.
Yeah, so you don't have to interact with anyone. The only problem with sushi places, as like a person who doesn't eat meat, obviously, is that there's not heaps of options. I do eat eggs though. So I always get like an egg dish, and then there's always a nice reliable cucumber sushi dish.
Ellie gets so like if you look at our two dishes, like my one is like 9 different varieties of fish, right? So like when we went the other day, I had 8 different types of sushi. I had like mackerel, tuna. There was like oyster. There was heaps of stuff like that, and then there was like a ramen and all that. And then when you look on Ellie's side, it's literally 12. Like a miniature cucumber sushi.
It's like a sushi roll that just has 1 cucumber in it.
Yeah, and there's like 12. It's like, because like that's literally all you can get, and it's because there is nothing else. I got my little omelette, and I also got this time I got some fries as well. Yeah. So I did have a variety.
True, there's 3 options. Like 3 options is pretty good. Like I feel like if we went to a sushi place in New Zealand, you'd just get chicken sushi. You wouldn't get like a variety.
Well, yeah, but that's because like that's what I like there. But
yeah, I know, but that's what I mean. Like normally you'd be getting 1 option, so me having 3 is actually pretty good. I wish they had like a vegetarian sushi roll, like in the same way they have in New Zealand, where it's got like cucumber, capsicum, avocado, carrot. Yeah, the vegetarian one here is like cucumber.
Yeah, why can't they mix it up a little bit?
I suppose because normal sushi here, it's like nigiri, so it's got like the rice and 1 thing on top. Yeah, true. It's not like...
Man, what I hate is sometimes they hide the wasabi underneath the fish, so you can't see that there's wasabi, and you just put it all in your mouth, and then it's like the worst surprise.
Yeah, he's literally been caught by that so many times. Yeah. But yeah, so we went to the sushi train.
Yeah, that was good.
And came home.
Yeah. Alright, well that was pretty much it then. Man, like time is so distorted. Our last podcast was 2 weeks ago. Almost. It was like... Really? It was like 12 days ago.
Man, we should just post this one. Because we've done nothing apart from, like, we were waiting for my training to happen because we knew that then we'd leave the house.
But also, I thought today would have been, like, Wednesday at the most.
What day is it?
And it's Friday.
Oh my god.
So, yeah.
Sometimes I see the time like that sort of thing, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know, right? God damn it. Okay, well, that's pretty much it then. So, thank you for listening. Yeah. And we will see you guys next week. Yeah. All right. Bye.
Bye.